As you can see from the text on the screen, I am going to be teaching from Romans chapter 3. So if you have your Bibles, if you would open with me. I put portions of the section of verses 21 through 31. I will read the entirety of 21 to 31. You have some of the selected verses up here. Paul writes to the church in Rome, "But now the righteousness of God has been manifest apart from the law, although the law and the prophets bear witness to it, the righteousness of God through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe. There is no distinction, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified by his grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God put forward as a propitiation by his blood to be received by faith. This was to show God's righteousness, because in his divine forbearance he had passed over former sins. It was to show his righteousness at the present time, so that he might be just and the justifier of the one who has faith in Jesus. Then what becomes of our boasting? It is excluded. By what kind of law? By a law of works? No, but by the law of faith. For we hold that one is justified by faith apart from works of the law. Or is God the God of Jews only? Is he not also the God of Gentiles also? Yes, of Gentiles also. Since God is one who will justify the circumcised by faith and the uncircumcised through faith, do we then overthrow the law by this faith? By no means. On the contrary, we uphold the law. This is the word of God. There was this thing that was coming into Christianity, that you were made right by the things that you do. If you look in classic Judaism, you are made right with God by obeying the law, right? You are made right with Sheriff Byerly by obeying the law, which I think we have to admit it, all of us probably break laws in some way. The thing is, law enforcement doesn't always know when you break the law, correct? That was how I lived for most of my life, was just kind of flying under the radar, and I do mean flying under the radar. If I didn't get caught, I got away with it. But then when I did get caught, come to find out, they would say, we've been looking for you, we've been waiting for you, and then I really got it. But you see, we don't hide from God. There is no place that we can be away from God. He always knows what's going on in our external, and then what's more in the internal, in the issues of our heart. I've said this before, one of the things that I really want to strive for in the 40 is that not so much our outward appearance. My prayer is that the only time you will see me perhaps dressed up would be for a wedding, or for perhaps for a memorial service. Those, to me, those are avenues of respecting those individuals. But when I look at God, and when I stand before God, God is looking at my heart. And there is no amount of dressing up, or no amount of cologne, or no amount of shaving or hair trimming that's going to make me right in his eyes. And this was one of the things that Paul was battling in the new churches, the church in Galatia in particular. That's another time. Paul says, the righteousness of God has been manifested apart from the law, although the law and the prophets bear witness to it. There was this idea that you could be right. So righteousness means being right with, or in favor with God. There was this idea that you were made right with God by the things that you do. But the problem was, who's really good at doing all the right things? You can go ahead and raise your hand. Who's good at doing all the right things? Where's my wife? She didn't hear that. I love you. Okay. No, not even Mandy does everything right. No, Paul writes, the law and the prophets bear witness to it. In verse 22, he says, the righteousness of God through faith in Christ Jesus for all who believe. For there is no distinction. He puts it down to an issue of belief. If you continue going through Paul's letters, you will find that he says that Abraham was actually justified by his faith. He was made right with God by his faith. Where was the law? The law had not even come. The law was not even on the scene. How can Abraham be made right? And so the Apostle Paul actually makes this argument with the new Jewish Christians who are still trying to obey the law and they're not measuring up. And he says the only way you're going to be made right in God's eyes is through faith in Christ. And so now he's saying that again here. The issue comes through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe. For there is no distinction in that verse that is so true that we would like to scratch it out. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Bad news, right? We talk about the gospel as being good news. You can't really have good news without bad news. You know, if you ever go into the doctor and he says, well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Okay, you never have a doctor come in and say, well, I've got good news and I've got good news. Right? That doesn't usually happen. It doesn't quite seem to work. The bad news is every one of us, every human since Adam and Eve has sinned. We have done what God told us not to do. We have not done what he told us to do. But then in verse 24, here's the good news. And are justified by his grace as a gift. A what? A gift. Everybody say it with me. Gift. Gift. It's a gift. Through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. It's a gift. Let me ask you something. Have you ever given a gift to somebody and they rejected it? They said, oh, no. And maybe they thought they had a good reason as to why they were going to reject it. Oh, no, I don't want to take that from you. I know that you don't have a lot to give. No, you've already been so kind to me. No, I can't accept that. You ever had somebody do that to you? I've caught myself doing that. Somebody will say, Steve, I want to give you some. Oh, no. I'm pretty self-righteous. I don't. No. But I've come to realize, am I rejecting the gift or am I rejecting them? What do you think? There's a problem in that. You see, God gives us this gift in Jesus Christ. He says, I am going to make you the opportunity to be right with me. Do you know who Jesus or what Jesus actually saved us from? The answer would be sin, right? Or hell. But that's not actually accurate theologically. Jesus Christ came to save us from God himself. Wrestle with that for just a little bit. God, the Father, sent the Son to take our place to save us from the wrath of the Father. That is good theology. That is biblical theology. Think through this. We'll say, well, Jesus came to save you from sin. Who cares about sin? There's no consequences from sin except for maybe earthly consequences. What if there are eternal consequences brought down in the wrath from the Father? Then we have a bigger issue than being saved from sin. We're saved from the one who enforces the penalties of sin. Well, I'm saved from hell. What is hell? Hell is eternal conscious punishment under the wrath of God. We either choose to accept Christ or we choose not to. And so Paul here is saying that it is a gift. We're justified by God's grace. Remember, grace is getting something you don't deserve. It's this gift. We go on down to verse 27. Paul gives another argument. He says, then what becomes of our boasting or our bragging? It is excluded. By what kind of law? By a law of works? No, but by the law of faith. Think about this. If I let's just go with just the 10 Commandments. We're going to ignore the 613 ordinances that go along with it. I take the 10 Commandments. And I'm doing a pretty good job of obeying about 7 of them. Realistically, I can't obey one of them. I screw up every one of them. But let's say I'm managing about 7 of them. And then I compare myself to Jim. I say, well, if you look at Jim, poor guy, he's managing to muster up about 5 or 6. So, you all can polish my work boots later. Sorry, Jim. You see, there was a bragging that started happening in the churches because people were saying, I'm doing a better job at obeying the law than you are. Brothers do that, don't you? You guys say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I'm doing a better job than he is. I know I used to do that with my siblings. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, right? I used to do that too. Hey, Mom, guess what word came out of my brother's mouth? Guess what Dave said? There's just something in our human nature. We want to get up a little bit better than the other person. And this was happening, and then Paul says, no, there is no boasting. There is no bragging in faith. Because when we are honest here, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. We see there in verse 23. All of us have screwed this up. So nobody can start bragging. It's not about if you obey 10 commandments or 9 or 7 or 6, 5 or 4, 3 or 2 or even 1. We've disobeyed all of them. So what's our hope? It's our hope that is given in the gift of Jesus Christ. Do we have faith in Him? That's our hope. In verse 28, he says, for we hold that one is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. You will not be made right by dressing up. You will never be made right by coming to church. You will not be right in God's eyes by giving offering back to Him. You will not be made right by taking communion. You are not right in God's eyes because you get baptized. You are not right in the eyes of the Heavenly Perfect Father because you tell somebody else about Jesus. None of that will make you right in God's eyes. There are people who will do all of those things and will still go to hell. The ones who are made right in God's eyes are the ones who say, Jesus is my only hope. He is my forgiveness. He is my redemption. He is the one who took my sins onto the cross and paid a debt I could not pay. Jesus is my hope. Those are the ones who someday will walk with their Heavenly Father. And this is what Paul is saying. We are justified by the faith. And so what does that mean? That means that some of us are going to be right with God and we're still going to be pretty messy. You're going to be doing things that Christians shouldn't do. We need to try to put that in like a heavy English accent or something. Oh, you swine. Weren't you as holy as me? You smoke the cigarettes of death. You drink liquid fire. And these are the things that we say to other people. We say there's no way that person's walking with Jesus. You have no comprehension of what may be going on in their heart. None. Most of you know that in my life I've struggled with depression. Over the past 5 years it has been very real. Over the past 4 it was crippling. Horrible, horrible depression. If you've struggled with depression, I'll ask you, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but if you've been through that, have you ever had somebody who is spiritual tell you about how you should have more faith in Christ? Or maybe if you just prayed for healing, that the Father would just divinely lift this oppressive judgment from you. You'll never be a swine again. And people assume that because you're battling with depression that you are not hanging on to the cross. Charles Spurgeon, I've studied his life to some extent. I'm studying more this week. At the age of 24, Charles Spurgeon was the pastor of the largest church in the world. Thousands of people attended that church in the Prince of Preachers. He said people would come from miles to listen to Charles Haddon Spurgeon preach. At the age of 24, on a Sunday morning, with the auditorium packed, some troublemakers came running in the back door screaming, "Fire! Fire!" And of course, in the mid-1800s, that was a very real threat. People jumped up and started running. 7 people were trampled to death in front of Spurgeon in his own church. 28 others were critically wounded. He was left on the podium with 7 bodies and many more that were wounded. His wife wrote that she didn't think he would be able to preach again after that. It hit him so hard. As a matter of fact, depression continued to be a part of Spurgeon's life until he passed away. There were times that depression would overthrow him so much that he couldn't even preach on a Sunday morning. He would leave and he would go to the coast, and that's where he would find solace with God, to once again find healing for his broken heart. I wonder where those super spiritual people would be for somebody like Spurgeon, who was an absolute giant in the faith. Would they come in front of him and say, "Oh, Charlie, why don't you just ask God to take this from you? If you were holy like me," having no concept whatsoever of what that man held to, sometimes by a thread. His faith. At one point, Spurgeon was so down. He quoted a line, I don't remember where, in Job, that it would be better to hang himself than to suffer these ills. Can you imagine? Maybe some of you can. You see, faith, we are made right with God by our faith in Jesus Christ. But that by no means that you're going to be riding on a glassy sea that's perfectly smooth. Absolutely not. When you have faith in Christ, it means that you have a very sure enemy who is seeking to destroy you, as Jesus says in John 10:10. He is seeking to destroy you, to destroy your relationships, marriage, family, kids, church, anything that has to do with you. He is seeking to destroy you. But greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. You see, we hang on to that faith, and sometimes, I know some of you are hanging on to that faith by a very thin thread. But that's all you need. You hang on by that small teetering thread that is fraying out. You're seeing the little particles starting to come out from it. And it's getting ready to snap, but you're hanging on there. And there are even those times that you will just, it slips out of your hand. But that does not mean that you slip out of the hand of the Father who created you. You held to Him in the first place. Why would He let go of you now? I've experienced this in my own life. When the depths of horrible oppression were upon me, I would be awake through the night, reading my Bible, praying, underlining, trying to memorize Scripture through sobs, anguished sobs. God, where are you? My faith is only as thick as this thread. And He never let go. It is through that crucible that the Father forms us into who He wants us to be. That painful crucible that melts us, and then the slag floats to the surface. The impurities float to the surface, and the Father takes off the dross. The parts of us that are unnecessary, the ugly parts, and He puts them to the side in that avenue of making us more perfect and right with Him. Don't ever buck against the hand of the Father, though sometimes it may be very, very painful. But know that He is doing something, even though you're hanging on just by that thread. And in that time of desperation in your life, you may be seeking whatever you can. You get desperate and you're grabbing for whatever you can find. And then people start scolding you and say, why don't you know, you vile? How dare you call yourself a Christian? Have they walked in those shoes in the Garden of Gethsemane? Or even our Lord crying out, if there be another way, take this cup from me. Our Lord, hanging on the cross, cries out to the Father, why have even you forsaken me? No, they haven't. Church, you are saved by your faith in Jesus Christ, the perfect gift given by the gracious Father above. You are not saved by the things that you do. Now, the things that you do will be an outworking of your faith. Sure. And for some of you, your faith is very new. And you're learning, and you're tripping, and you're stumbling, and you're having issues here and there. That happens. Continue growing. Some of you have been walking with Christ for a long time, for many years, and you're becoming more and more solid. Your feet are planted more on the rock of Christ Jesus, and you're walking alongside of others who are stumbling and saying, here, I'm here for you. But remember, as I put up in this illustration, that faith is taking that leap into that scary unknown. It is that leap into those things that you cannot necessarily fully hang on to. We have evidence of Jesus Christ, absolutely. It's not a blind faith. I think just like this illustration, he's jumping from the rock on the left. He sees the rock on the right. And he's just going for it. Where are you at today? Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're stumbling. Maybe you're in that bit of depression or sorrow where you're hanging on by that fraying thread. Maybe you, like I experienced, have Christians who are surrounding you, telling you about what you've done wrong, and they have no idea. I'll say that I'm sorry that those individuals happen. I think oftentimes they have good intention, but they don't know when to stop their mouths. But know that there is nothing that you are going through that Christ has not already gone through. Know that there has not been a loneliness that you are experiencing that he did not first experience. You are saved by grace